Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will explain about how we will set the variable. For this one, structure node. Each node will have 5 variables, which is integer of index, string of data, long integer IC, number, structure of node, and integer of age. Structure are used to create user-defined data type in C++. A node structure contains a data element of an integer type and has a pointer element to the next node structure. Then we will create class name linkQueue. It has a private and public variable. For private variable, it has structure of front, integer of count, string of val, integer index val, long integer IC, temporary structure of rare, temp and current. Okay, for the public, we have linkQueue, void enqueue, void dequeue, void display, bool empty, bool check string, void search, void update, void sorting ascending, void sorting descending, void detail searching for long integer and integer age searcher. And then you guys can see we define how method linkQueue function. Variable front will be set to null, rare also will be null, and variable count will set to 0. Constructor is created to build one empty queue. Lastly, we will define empty method. Empty method is to check whether the queue is empty or not. Empty method will return bool statement. If count is 0, it will return true. Okay, that's from me for setting the variable.
Thank you to Hazim for the explanation. My name is Nurfaiza binti Muhammad. I'm gonna explain the next part of coding. Void linkQueue is a function. Then enqueue is a method to push data into the array of queue. After the data is inserted into the queue, the new element will insert at the array queue. Bool valid equal true is for determine the statement is true or not. If the statement is true, then we declare the new node equal new node. Then program will ask the user to insert their IC number. Then program will check either the IC number is valid or not. If the IC number is valid, then the program will ask the user to re-enter the IC number. Then the program will check again. If IC number is valid, the program will calculate the age using the IC number, then check in the queue. If true, then the program will display done. The queue is to delete the data from the front. If there's no data at the front or the user keep deleting the data until no data left, program will display underflow. While there is the data at front, the program will display patient is deleted from queue. Then the next part of coding, Khairul Hakimi will explain. Thank you.
Thank you, Nurfaiza, for the explanation on that part of coding. My name is Khairul Hakimi bin Adnan, and now we'll continue on the next one. Now we move on to the next part, display for this class linkQueue. We set the temporary value and a counter first for this part. Next, if the front and rear queue is empty or null, the program will display queue is empty. Otherwise, it will display the new queue number and old queue number, IC and age of the recent imputed data, and the latest one. Then, the counter will be increased by 1. Moving on to the next part, search for this class linkQueue. In this part, user will be required to insert IC number to search in the queue. While the current queue is not equal to null and not equal to IC number, the program will then keep looping the process of searching. And then, if the current value found is already not null, the program will then display the value and the data of the current queue. Otherwise, the program will display not available. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Khairul, for the previous explanation. My name is Nur Shafina binti Zagi. My matric number is B03210106. Okay, so I will continue to explain the coding. Okay, as you guys can see for this coding, we use this method update to update IC number and to reconfirm the IC number. firstly, if the temperature not equal to null, then the system gonna display insert or queue number to be updated. And then there is the if statement. It is to check if it is right, there will be the index for the number that we enter. Next, the current while term is not equal to null, then if term more than equal to index and equivalent to index bar, the system asks user to enter new IC number to be updated and then to reconfirm the new IC, or else the system gonna display the queue is empty. Okay, next, this method is used to check if the IC number that we enter are correct. So after we enter the IC number, the system firstly gonna check if there is any punctuation character. If there is any punctuation, the system gonna display wrong character. But if there is no punctuation, the system gonna proceed to the next if statement coding. So secondly, the system gonna check if the character is alphabetic. The coding is as same as the first coding, so if there is alphabetic, so the system gonna display wrong character. If not, the system gonna proceed to the last if statement coding. So lastly, the system gonna check if the number is equal to 12, which means not more than 12 number and not less than 12 number. So it must be 12 number in total. So if user not enter 12 number, then the system gonna display wrong character. But if the number entered by using enough 12 number, the system gonna proceed to the next code. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you. So I will pass to the next presenter, which is Fatiha.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nafadia Salpi. I am from class bitm S1G2 and today I would like to present my project with my class member in subtopic data structure and algorithm. For this coding, we use sequential search, which means it's going to be looking for the data one by one. My part is to search the patient from queue, so let's see the coding. At the first one, void link queue, the function is to search the details, then long integer IC number, integer year, month, day, age, string, month, gender. It is to declare the data used in the function. The next coding is for IC number. We use queue based on their IC number so that we know how many years they are. The code is year equal to IC number divided by 1 billion, month equal to IC number minus year multiply 1 million divided by 1 billion, and the day equal to IC number minus year multiply 1 billion minus month multiply with 1 billion and divide by 1 billion. Okay, so the next. So if the year is more than 30, year equal to 1900 plus year plus the number of years, or else year equals to 2000 plus the number of years, so that we know their age by minus 2020 minus with the number of years. Okay, then switch to month. This code is to identify the date of birth of our patient. So there is case 1, case 2, case 3 until case 12. It fills with months: January, February, March, April, and the code is as shown. We move to the next part. This coding is to identify the gender of the patient. The code will be as shown, and I will read the code. If IC number, percent to equal 1, gender equal male, or else gender equal to female. So there will be two options for male and female. After that, for the cout, this is will show the output cout. It will show you the day, month, and year of the date of birth for our patient. And then the second one is cout left shift /t gender. It will show the gender for our patient. And the last one, cout /t/th, and it will and the age of the patient will appear. Okay, so for the last one, integer link Q, the function is to search the age. Long integer IC number, integer year equal to IC number divided by 1 billion. If year is more than 30, year equal to 1900 plus the number of years, or else year equal to 2000 plus the number of years. So in return, 2020 minus with the number of years, then close curly bracket. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatihah, for the presentation just now.
So first, let me introduce myself. I am Umi Masita and I will continue presenting the last part, which is sorting ascending, descending, and also manual CPP. For your information, we use bubble sort because it is the simple sorting technique which only use 2 end and 2 traverse. For this part, we use sorting ascending and descending to sort again all the data for NQ and DQ. If we didn't sort it, then the DQ and NQ will not show any different from before. So now, let's begin with the first one, which is sorting descending. Firstly, the current will be the front and we put the temp as the null. If the front equal to the null, we will retain the value. As the current not equal to null, we put the temp as current next. So, the temp will not be equal to null. Starting this part, we need to compare if the current age smaller than the temp age. We will change all this data like this. It is because we want the bigger age first, so the smaller one will stay at the temp until it became the bigger one. After all the data has been sorted, the temp will be the next temp and the current will be the next current. Next, we go to the sorting ascending. Basically, the need of sorting ascending is to arrange against all the data based on the index number because we already sort it based on the age at the descending part. So this part we do the same part as the descending, but if the current index is greater than the temp index, it will change the place, so it continues until the last data too, until the result become smaller first, then the larger one, so it will be ascending order. And we will continue to traverse twice until it sort out the queue based on the index. So now let's move to the last one, which is main.cp. Firstly, don't forget to include the header.h. Here we put the link queue and long in here, then all of this is for the output screen until here. Next, for the input, we put the case number and the function based on the output screen. And the last one, which is case 8, we will put it for the exit, the program. So if they put the number that not equal to 8, it will return 0, which means if the number less than 8, it will go to the next case. If the number greater than 8, it will show invalid choice. So now, I will run the program and this is the output screen. I will try to put 2 IC number, then show you all the case. So, I already show you all. For the first one, we put the IC number. I put 2 number because I want to show you all how to sorting it and how to put it descending and ascending. So I will show all of this.
As you can see, I already do some of it while I am presenting just now. So now I will just do the rest until you can see the change of the ascending and descending. And that's all from me and from us. Thank you.